Meanwhile, London shares have continued to rise, lifted by investor optimism over signs of progress in the US-China trade talks. Well, let's check in with Juliana on Market Streets. Hello, Juliana. Good afternoon. Well, it looks like London shares made a good show in early hours of today. What sectors and companies are among the leaders?
Well, as you said, Chimmy, the equities market is doing pretty well at intraday. There are some big winners and, of course, there are some losers. One of the losers today is Glencore Group. That's the big player in the mining sector. Their shares dropped 1.9% at early trading, and that's really because of yesterday's announcement that the Serious Fraud Agency will be looking into the company, or some of the chief execs who are at the company, to see if some allegations against bribery are true. So they're not having a great day. But we have had some positive data out about UK house prices. So we've seen a lot of rise from there. Berkeley Group are doing pretty well. Barratt Development and Taylor Wimpey as well. Their shares rose between 0.2% and 1.5%. Specifically, the FTSE All Share is up 0.62% at intraday. FTSE 100 is up 0.71% and the FTSE 250 is up 0.39%. In currencies, not a great day for sterling. The British pound is down on the US dollar by 0.17%. It's also down on the euro by 0.11% and down on the Japanese yen by 0.33%.
All right, talking about UK house prices, it reportedly rebounded last month. Can you talk us through the highlights of the Halifax latest survey report?
Well, it's a good day for anybody in the housing market. There had been a downward trend in the UK, and that really was that house prices had been decreasing month on month. But the Halifax are reporting that house prices in November rose by 2.1%. So it does seem as if the UK housing market will leave the decade on a high. What they're saying at the moment is that the average price of a UK home is £234,625, which is a lot of money, and it's more than 2% of what it was worth this time last year. We had decent highs in February, and this amount is even much bigger than that. A lot of analysts and economists are saying that one of the reasons why this is happening, even though we are living in a turmoil of uncertainty here in the UK, is that there's a shortage of houses. So buyers and sellers are, quick to move very quickly. And also as well, banks are lending more. It's easier to get your foot on the property ladder, as they say here in the UK, and people are taking advantage of that. Of course, as to be expected, London is really surging up those numbers. A lot of people are getting into properties here, and it appears as if the government schemes that have been slated for so long, which do help people with share to buy and putting down a percentage on your property, is having uptick. So it's a very good day, and that's helping pushing up the FTSE also.
Interesting. Well, an interesting one out there. The boss of Lloyd's of London has warned the workers to behave themselves as they hold a Christmas party tonight. Are you attending this party, Juliana?
I think you'll be happy to hear, Chimmy, I won't be attending the Lloyd's of London party tonight. I think my invitation obviously got lost in the post. But, this is quite a serious story. I think especially for those of us who live in London, the city of London, what we talk about every afternoon. Over the past few years, there have been rumours, or it's been stigmaed, of being a very boozy, very male-orientated environment. And of course, Lloyd's of London, they are the biggest insurance market in the world, and they have a lot of staff, over 40,000 of those staff. And if your company's big, then this kind of behaviour is likely to happen. A couple of months ago, they did a huge survey, and 22% of people said that they had witnessed sexual harassment. And another big percent also said that they don't feel the company does enough to tackle it. And again, in London, a part of the British culture is that you do get a little bit boozed up, as they say, at these Christmas parties. So their chief exec has tried to do what a lot of company bosses will probably be doing at this time of the year, and saying just be very, very careful, look at the policy, and, just be kind and calm around your female and male staff workers, not to be inappropriate or go over the top. So it's funny, but a very, very serious message.
Well, it's a Friday, and of course, we are in festive season. It's okay to party, but it's not okay to overdrink or misbehave. Thank you, Juliana. See you again next week. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Chimay.
And stocks in Asia rose on Friday ahead of U.S. non-farm payrolls data for November expected to be released later on the day stateside. Mainland Chinese stocks were higher on the day, with the Shenzhen Composite advancing 0.82%. The Shanghai Composite rose 0.43%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index rose 1.07%. The Nikkei 225 in Japan rose 0.23%, while the Topix Index ended its trading day 0.11% higher. In South Korea, the Kospi added 1.02%. Meanwhile, shares in Australia edged higher on the day as the ASX 200 rose 0.36%. And U.S. stock index futures were higher on Friday. At around 4:25 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow futures rose 66 points, indicating a positive open of more than 67 points. Futures on the S&P and Nasdaq were both slightly higher. Market focus is largely attuned to global trade developments following an upbeat tone from President Donald Trump. December 15 is the date when tariffs on another $156 billion in Chinese goods will go into effect. On the data front, the Labor Department, of course, is expected to release the non-farm payrolls for November shortly. Consumer sentiment for December, wholesale trade figures for October, and the latest reading of consumer credit will all follow slightly later in the session. In corporate news, Big Lots will publish its latest quarterly figures before the opening bell. Okay, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll look at other developments back here on the African continent. To stay with us.